Hi guys. So last week, I was set to do Don't Miss the Memo. And literally God stopped me in my tracks and said, "Wait a minute, before you do that, I want you to read Nehemiah 13. I want you to study that." And so guys, I've been deep in studying Nehemiah 13. I didn't know really anything about Nehemiah. I know it was from God because that wouldn't have even came to my brain, like literally. Anyway, um, so I went and I read Nehemiah 13. I've read it a few times now. And one of the conversations that I've had with God over the years is, or one of the statements that I've made to God over the years is, remember me. Um, yeah, remember me. And it's been a dialogue, God telling me to remember him and remember the things that he's done for me in past years. Remember the just when he showed up in my life. Remember that, as you go through trials and different things in life, even when you receive great blessings, remember God. So it's God, we've had this dialogue anyway. So, as I read Nehemiah 13, Nehemiah was asking God to remember him, remember the good works that he's done, have mercy upon him, um, and also remember the Israelites, who had committed such sin against God. And Nehemiah was trying to get them to repent and to follow God's commandments and just pleading with God just to remember that, remember his good works and trying to lead the people to God. And so the memo is remember God. Remember God and ask God to remember you. I think it's so important that, even like I said, sometimes we're going through trials and we forget all the things that God has already brought us through, all the ways that God has shown up in our lives. And it's just important that as you face things, that you remember those things so that you can have comfort and you can have peace. That's where peace comes from, guys. Peace comes from God, and it comes from the remembrance of him in our lives. And then also you need to remember that God is sovereign. God is constant. He is never failing. He is, all those things. And I just think, sometimes we forget. And so please remember. And then just also asking God to remember us, remember our frail selves, remember the work that we've done in honoring him. Just asking God, Lord, please remember us and have mercy and remember our good works. So I think it's, that dialogue is very important. And I thank God that he led me to Nehemiah 13. I don't think I've ever read the book of Nehemiah. But anyway, guys, it's neither here nor there. Wishing you a wonderful Thursday. This is Don't Forget the Memo. Don't miss the memo. Oh, I can't talk. Don't miss the memo. Thanks again for joining me. And remember, in all things, peace and love. Until we speak again, I'm out.